What's up, RicoCap team, traders? RicoCapital here, and I just want to give a quick kind of recap on today's QQQ trade, kind of how I went about it, and kind of how I a little bit messed it up here. And I like to do this just to give myself more accountability, and as well as hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes. But this is what happened, and we went out. So yesterday, big sell-off. We ended up holding our Rico Cap demand. Their 484, 482 demand here. We held it kind of yesterday evening in the close. Overnight, we held it and popped over, but quickly fell back into it. And kind of near, pre-market open, where we kind of ripped up and got to our next zone, which is a supply, where sellers were waiting, and as you can see, we hit that supply perfectly and rejected right at kind of open, where we dumped right back down into our demand. Now, I just drew a quick yellow trend line straight across because I knew, seeing this real quick, that it's a bear flag, right? Just something so simple as just this, right? And get in the habit of kind of drawing this too when you're seeing this kind of on the fly or pre-market. But bear flag going in like this, I didn't need to draw this top part in live action, because I knew what I'm looking at, and I knew if we broke this yellow trend line down, we're gonna go test this 478, 477 demand. And so this is what happened. So we got that first 15-minute candle close down here. I ended up taking those puts. I ended up taking the lotto puts. Now, the premiums were very juiced today, and I didn't like it. I felt harder for me to make that judgment call, because if I wanted a real position, I would have gone to 1 day expiration, and I would have at least gave myself more time, a little bit of time, and not too much of a tight stop. But I did keep a tight stop on it, and this is what happened. So I slammed the 481 lotto put, knowing that this should go in the money, at least go touch our 481 level right here, blue line. From there, that's on my plans last night that I posted. I'm kind of front running this move, knowing I'm getting the top here, and because last night I did post below 481, we should slam those puts. Now, I know what I saw here, and this is kind of on the fly. If you just listened to my plans, you would have banked for sure. If you would have just took them, kind of got chopped around for a second, and then let it go. These plans work continuously. Now, it's a little bit easier said than done when you're in the market and you see the setup happening. I kept a tighter stop just in case, but we slammed them down here. They came back up. These went against us because they're lottos. No reason to have gotten out of this trade at all, because we're just wicking out. They're trying to take us, hit our stops, but they're not. It's not invalidated. The trade has not been validated, and I mean that because a candle body on the 15 has not opened up above our demand zone, meaning buyers have not taken this zone for themselves yet. Sellers are still here, and as you can see, the yellow trend line, we got under it. We ended up wicking out of it. The body stayed under it. The next one under as well, and under the top part, that 44.18. So that was even more confirmation from right there. Once we got back down to right here, I knew we were going to sell off, and because that 15 opened up down here, pretty much the hourly opened up as well right there, and that just pushed us straight down. Look at that hourly candle. It was absolutely beautiful. So a little disappointed in my performance, but those puts did run from, we got entry at 120, we slammed them right here at 120, and they ended up dumping all the way to, I don't know, $3 plus, maybe. Yeah, $4 plus, so 400 plus, 300 plus. So I mean, all the way down to in the money and into our zone right there, Rico Cap zone, where buyers were there. They popped it back open, came right back down, held it again, popped it in the close there. And these zones are Rico Cap zones. When buyers, sellers, we know where to be on the right side of a trade. So we know where sellers are at, buyers are at. And once you lose a zone like this, buyers or sellers take over. So once you lose a demand, sellers then take over. If you hold a demand like this, buyers take over. And kind of vice versa if you want to see kind kind of how we get above a zone. So like something like this, where we get to a zone and it's a supply zone, we get through it. I ended up coming back to test it, but then we come back right back up. That means buyers take over. So notice how the sellers got cleared out right there. The rest of them buyers held it up here and shot it right back up to the next zone up here, where sellers then stepped in and completely sold it off. So a little bit of an example there, but I just wanted to highlight kind of the trade here. It was a very easy setup. Took a little bit of patience and a little bit of balls to just hold it if it went against you, because some of these premiums were moving crazy. I mean, they were juiced up and they're moving crazy. We have earnings kicking off, tech earnings, so QQQ is kind of going wild right now. We got other things going on, so it's just one of those days. So pretty solid play right there. I could have done a lot better on my end on executing. Usually I nail it every time, but these are the times that I like to highlight and kind of show y'all, my mistakes maybe, and kind of just highlight that this was a valid trade, no reason to have gotten out of it. And if you just logically stay in it and think like that and take the emotions out, you're going to win every single time. So very, very solid day today with the sell-off, and it was a solid trade if you just keep it simple and keep it easy and stick to my plans too. Say you just stuck to my plans below 481.78. If you just looked at the plans, for today, above 484.18 calls for QQQ. Now, we opened up above 484.18, so we need to have seen this hold for us to go higher for that 484.18. But what I was kind of hinting, or what I was kind of, going at with the plans, I meant it where if we stayed in this zone and we popped out, that's the move I was looking for. So the move happened, and once we sold back in, we stayed patient at open. So this technically did not apply to us, did not trigger. We needed to have waited to see if we popped out of it. From there, if we got that green candle up, then that's when those calls we would have took them. Calls would have worked. So pre-market a little bit harder. We don't really pay attention too much to it as far as our invalidating or validating trades. We wait till market open to see what's up. So of course, looking at that, it did not trigger. It did not hold in that zone. Below 481 was the next play, and if you took it, got on the 5 here. Now, as you can see, as we dump down to, if you took that right there, you would easily got to move straight down to 479. Waited for that retest, because there's always a retest. Came right back to that zone that this demand turned to sellers. Retest came all the way right back down. Say you took it right there, 480 all the way, 481 all the way down to 478, 477. Beautiful move in just that little kind of time period right here. Just boom. This is what you're looking for right here. All that just easy stuff in that small time period. Be done in 15, 20 minutes. Call that a day. You could have played some lottos later in the day, but other than that, it was a pretty simple setup. So just wanted to highlight y'all that doing less is more. And if you want these zones right here, access to the RicoCap zones, the lock channel, $10 a week gets you access to that. You can sign up at wap.com/RicoCapital. Go ahead and get the link there, sign up, type it in right now. $10 a week gets you access immediately into it. Of course, you can join the Discord. It's free, so that also at the sign up, you can find the link there, go into there. But yeah, get the zones, know where you're at. Start by doing that, master those, because the zones are amazing. I invented these work nonstop, and I love these so much. So get a part of the team, know where you are in the market, and the more you learn, the more you earn. So let's bank, guys. I'll see you on the next video.